Alright, this is the final presentation video portion. I'm going to try and make this quick because last time it took quite a few minutes to get this going. This is our login page and register page. If I want to register, I can register as a person. This is all the information that you can enter to register a user. I've already registered a couple accounts, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to refresh the page actually because I can't currently go back, so that's something I need to add in. But let's say I go into my account for Kyle1234, and all of that information, the user credentials and user information, is stored in two separate tables in the SQL. So let's log in. So for the schedule page, you can see the first thing that you see is this next class feature. This next class feature is basically taking your system's requirements or your system calendar and saying, hey, when's the next class on here? And then it calculates that. So we can see that my next class today is at 3 with uh, Annie Liu, I believe it's pronounced. Here you can see all of the classes that I have up until Thursday. You can also check for Friday. Scroll down as well. Uh, Down here are all of the classes in card view. You can delete one. So let's say if I delete 4090, if I go back up, that's going to reflect the change. There we go. You can see there's no 4090. It's gone. Let's add that back. So if we want to add one, CSI4999, description, senior project. So Monday and Wednesday, you can select multiple days. A start time, you can be as specific as you want. I believe it's 10 a.m. to 11:47. We'll just get 10 to 11:45. That's fine. Make sure it's a.m. there. Professor, I believe it's Nazir El Bathi. We'll add that. And then suddenly you can see there it is, it's back again. So that's the schedule page. Let's go to the to-do page. You can see that we have card views again here. We have for the final for this class, it's due on the 12th, December 10th, I mean. And it doesn't show overdue because that's in the future. For homework 4, for instance, that's 10/23, so that's going to show overdue. We can delete one of these if we want, and then we can add a new one. So let me add, for instance, homework 3, class CSI 4230, and then due date 2024 9/24, right? We'll add that. You can see it's overdue. And of course, if I made the date normal or in the future, it would be due, or not overdue. So then the finances page, you can see here that we have an interactive pie chart where we can click on all the different categories. The categories are shown both up here and down in the card views. You can scroll down to see everything that's in them. You can see the total expenses of everything or just in the category. If you want to add an expense to something, you can. So let's say I want to add tuition, and tuition is, I don't know, it's the cheapest tuition ever, $200. Suddenly school reflects that change. The total expenses reflects it, and so does the actual, what's it called? All right, let's see for a float number as well, because I forgot to do that. So let's go more books. It's going to be 1345, for instance. Let's add that in. And you can see that it reflects the float change as well. If I want to delete one, I can delete that as well for an expense. I can also delete a category. So let me delete school, for instance, and suddenly that reflects the change. Then I can add it back if I want. It's not going to reflect to the pie chart until there's an expense on there, because right now there's 0 expenses, so it's not up there. So let us put in school back in there. And, oh, this is an expense. Oops. Oh, that's fine. Tuition. And then let's do 150. Let's add it. As you can see, we have an issue with sometimes the pie chart being the same color. So if I want to change that, I can. But right now, sometimes it can end up being the same color. So that's something we're going to have to fix. All right. And I'm going to delete that category again. So let's go to the grades. This is our grade calculator. We can put in our desired grade. Let's say we want a 75 in the class. Let's say we have our categories as homework, quiz, test, and project. Let's say the homework is 20% of the grade, the quiz is 20% of the grade, the tests are 40% of the grade, and the project is 20% of the grade. We can calculate that I got a 100% on that. Let's say I got a 70% on that. I got a 75% on that. And I got a 88% on that. Now let's see. Our grade N comes up to an 81.6%. There's also something here with the final exam. So let's say we need a... I'm not actually sure if this is working or not. So I'm going to move on to the habits page. So finally, the habits page, very simplistic page here. Basically, this is just going to track your habits and how many days since creation. Again, from taking the system and then just calculating that since it's been created. So we can delete one of these. We can add one. We can add it back, right? And then, of course, it is going to just simply, and we can add as many of these as we want. Right? I mean, it's pretty simple. And then no habits will display. Same thing for if we delete both of these. No items to do, etc. If we don't have any classes in here also, so let's say we want to delete all of these. No upcoming classes scheduled, etc. Finances, check it out, what happens. 0 expenses. Grades is the same. And that's everything.